Like most poor kids of the late 90s, I grew up with 3 channels on a UHF signal. The CBC, KVOS, and finally BCTV. But oh man, I was so psyched back at 7 PM when Wheel of Fortune used to come on. I mean, let's face it, it's a total win when you get to play Hangman for cash, and you have a sexy MILF of a lady turning the letters. Oh, Vanna White. Let's take a moment to stare at those boobies. And now we're done. Now, also like most poor kids in the late 90s, all I had growing up was a Super Nintendo, and the video store at the mall was still awesome enough to still have some Super Nintendo games for rent. I must have rented this game many times, not just because I love Wheel of Fortune. It was fun to stare at Vanna's cleavage every time the game started up. It goes as follows. You're a contestant on Wheel of Fortune, and it's up to you to spin the wheel, buy a vowel, or solve the puzzle. Personally, I found the controls too complicated and sometimes confusing, especially at the beginning, when you don't realize you have to hit X, or Y with an Xbox 360 controller if you're playing on an emulator, to select things. It takes a while to get used to, but once you're used to it, it's not so bad. It's also really cool to note that Vanna sometimes dresses different. Sometimes she wears an orange dress, or blue, but every time, she struts like she's got drugs planted up her ass or something, and sometimes the strut takes about 2 hours of time. The final round allows you to pick a random prize and guess the final puzzle. Okay. Wait, that's a pretty generous puzzle there. Well, okay, I'm Canadian, so I'm gonna go and guess New Lincoln, Connecticut. Oops. Hey, I don't get a second chance? Bullshit! Okay, what could I have won? You won't even show me? And then the credits roll. Bottom line, I find the Super NES version of Wheel of Fortune to be a personal favorite of mine, and I give it an 8 out of 10. See you next time on WPX Gamefilez.